All right, good morning, everybody. It is a Monday, and we are back live. Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital at MC Show Digital. Don't forget, like, subscribe. We're still climbing slowly but surely with our subscribers. When we get to the magical number 300, then we will give away a David Tyree autographed framed photo of the catch. Yes, the world-famous catch in the Super Bowl, holding the ball onto his helmet. With Rodney Harrison draped all over him in a completed pass that helped the Giants win the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Very cool, personally autographed. Well, not personally autographed, or personally autographed by David Tyree, but not with my name on it. So it could hang in any person's trophy room, as they say, or man cave. And so it can be yours if you are one of our first 300 subscribers. We literally will pull one of those 300 names randomly out of a hat, and that person will get the photograph and the frame, the whole 9 yards, hanging on my wall right now. I want it out of here and into your man cave. So especially if you're a Giants fan, but if you're just a sports fan in general, it's one of the most famous catches in all of Super Bowl history. You might want to have that thing on your wall. So feel free to be one of our first 300 subscribers. And if you've already subscribed, tell your family, your friends, and everyone else. All right, welcome aboard here on a Monday. Boy Green, along with the Manchild, and we've got a lot of NFL stuff to talk about. Boy Green, good morning. How are you?
It's awesome, and shout out. I see we have Todd in here immediately on YouTube. Howdy, good to see you, Todd. All right, there we go, baby. It's awesome. It's awesome to have the football season nearly upon us. We had the Hall of Fame game last week. Now we got the rest of the preseason slate for everybody else. So there is no more weekend without football, Lerch, all the way through whatever that is, February, March. So it's a great place to be.
Hennessy, that's a good name. Now look at that. I'm going to pop this up. Hennessy.
Yeah, sure.
Heisman, all right?
Great name.
All right. Is that not the alcohol that oh no, it's Hennigan's. Hennigan's is the alcohol from Seinfeld, remember?
Oh, yes.
All drinking the Hennigan's in that one thing. So
yeah, right.
in my mind, Hennessy. Hennessy, I think, is an alcohol as well.
That is,
but
yes.
Hennigan's was the alcohol they were drinking in Seinfeld. It just made me think
that would have been a nice Seinfeld
reference. Right, Hennigan's, right?
Yeah,
they were all getting drunk. That was a hilarious Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, everybody, welcome aboard. For those of you that are already with us live, fantastic. For those that will watch this after the fact, no problem there. That's part of our wonderful on-demand world here in the world of digital. Where you can check back in with us. You miss our Monday show live at 11. So what? Watch it at 12, 1, 3, 5 on your way home from work, in the evenings, before you go to bed, if it helps put you to sleep, whatever it does. Okay. Or wakes you up in the morning. Maybe that's what we're hoping it does.
Right.
Rather than put you to sleep, wakes you up in the morning. You can always do that. We've got a great week of content coming your way for you. We are checking in on camps. Bills, Giants already booked. Boy Green, are we doing Jets this week, or is there uncertainty about the Jets? I know we don't have anybody officially. Yet. So where are you at in our evolution here of a Jets guy for this week?
We are in negotiations. Okay. We will see. So there could be another one to come.
So, definitively, Giants and Bills, Jets to come. If we don't get Jets this week, it'll definitely be next week.
For sure.
David Wright doing a live broadcast with us later today. In case you don't know who David Wright is, he's a guy that's been on the TV show Survivor twice. And if you watch our feed, you know that we do Survivor content from time to time. We are coming up on episode or season 50, I should say, which is not the next Survivor in the fall, but will be in the spring of 2026. But we've been talking a lot about it because most of the cast has been selected. I think, what are there, 2 cast members that we don't know right now?
Correct, from 49 this
they're
season.
They're going to come from this season, yes. 49, which, by the way, has already been filmed and recorded. We just haven't watched it on television, and we will be in the upcoming weeks. And then we will see who wins that season. And then 2 of those cast members who we haven't even met yet will make the season 50 big special. All right, 50 years or 50 seasons, I should say, really 25-ish years, and 26 if you include the pandemic year. So 25 plus years of Survivor on television, 2 seasons per year, and we're making it to season 50 next spring. And so a very, very special Survivor season. And Brett LaBelle will be back to break it all down. But David Wright, who has appeared on 2 Survivor seasons, he was originally on the Gen X versus Millennials, which our friend Brett LaBelle, who breaks down the episodes with us every week, was part of. David was a real instigator in that season. And then he came back, Boy Green. Do you know the other season he was on? It was a few seasons later.
Yes,
I've seen it, but I don't remember, what one it was. Was it 39, 41,
right.
Somewhere in that realm. But anyway, David Wright spent 2 seasons on Survivor. It was a very different player.
Edge
the
of
second time
Extinction.
around. Yeah,
Edge of
Thank you.
Extinction. Okay, that's what I thought. I should have just said it.
So David is going to join us, and we've had him again on the radio side
Correct.
of things a couple of times. But he's a fascinating guy and definitely has a very different take than Tiffany Seeley, who we already talked to, than Brett LaBelle, who we talk to regularly. So it'll be very, very interesting to get David's take on this cast, David's take on his own evolution in the world of Survivor, David's take on not getting chosen for season 50. He feeling miffed? Was he even interested himself on getting on big season 50, or does he have some other aspirations down the road for Survivor?
Yeah.
David, by the way, having a very, very successful career post Survivor, and maybe we can talk to him a little bit about what he's been up to career-wise. So a lot to debunk. We're going to do that as a live broadcast today at 1:00. Now, we had him scheduled last week, and then unfortunately he had to cancel on us. Then we rescheduled him for 1:30 today. But we have a bunch of interviews stacked up for the day today that we're recording to put out content for you this week. And we asked David if he could move up a half hour just to make our day a little bit more fluid. So David has agreed. And so it's going to be 1:00 today for all you Survivor nuts, David Wright and us and you talking about Survivor. So if you love Survivor, join in on that. Of course, we'll put it out there for consumption after the fact as well, so you don't have to be here live to watch it. All right, Boy Green. Wow, I'm ready to go. I'm rocking and rolling. Very exciting week in the world of sports. We are 5 weeks, Boy Green, count them, 5 weeks away from the start of the NFL season. How you feeling about the energy of the NFL? I know you're Mr. Jets guy, Mr. NFL. You're all geared up. Look, I'm geared up today too. I'm half Mets, half Giants today. But give me your thoughts. 5 weeks. Is the stomach starting to bubble? You know, you're getting some knots down there. What's happening?
Yes, specifically for the Jets and their preseason coming up. Fantasy football's right around the corner. All of our all of the ones I'm participating in, I believe let's see, that's 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm in 7 leagues this year, and all the drafts are in August. So we are weeks away from all of those drafts. They're all later in the month, thankfully. I don't have to do any in the middle of the preseason, which is good. But that is oh my goodness. I got to start. I got a couple of magazines over here I haven't opened yet that I got to go into and do some more homework on. So the season being here, fantasy football, all of it is sort of upon us. I think that's the things that's really revving the engine, Lerch, is preparation. You can never prepare enough in my mind. So, I know some people say paralysis by analysis. To me, I want to absorb as much information as possible to be as informed making some of these selections.
Oh, here's something exciting for you, Boy Green. Hey, if the Jets get Micah Parsons, would they go to the 3-4? That's a question.
Interesting.
Or a statement from Edward. Go ahead, baby.
Well,
Micah
first off,
Parsons coming to the Jets? What's happening here?
Well, first off, Easy, I appreciate you being a channel member on my YouTube channel for a year, so happy anniversary, pal. I would say this, Lerch, on The Athletic, the Dallas, so we'll get into the whole latest evolution of the Micah Parsons thing, but there may be a potential for a trade. So The Athletic did an article where the Dallas Cowboys beat writer for The Athletic served as GM, and they selected 3 teams from around the league that they found most interesting to make hypothetical trade offers for Micah Parsons. And the Cowboys guy got to sift through the offers and sort of bring us into the negotiating room, what it looks like. And the Jets were one of the 3 teams selected. I went, interesting that they think that the Jets would be one of the teams that would be in on Micah Parsons, and they're one of the betting favorites, and some places have them as the betting favorite to land Micah, which I find fascinating. I don't think it would be 3-4, to be honest with you. I think it would still be 4-3, and then Micah would just move around all over the place. That's how it would be.
Just Lawrence Taylor him up. Basically.
Correct. Right. I don't think it would be, glued to scheme of 3-4. Then he could be that standing rotational outside backer versus what he could be in a 4-3, where he'd be a hand in the dirt defensive end out wide. I think they'd use him in a lot of creative ways. And I know we've had a lot of debates on my shows about whether or not the Jets should make a move like this. Micah's 26, man. I don't care what stage you believe you're in of anything. If you have a chance to land a Micah Parsons, you and your building have to have that conversation. Say, okay, what's it going to take? Pros and cons. I have no problem making him the highest paid non-quarterback in football. First off, it's not my money. And secondly, come on, it's Micah freaking Parsons, man. So I'd be all over it. If I was the Jets, I'd 100% make that move.
Well, I think I'm going to have to keep explaining this over and over again, Boy Green, until everyone gets it. But Phil Armour asked the question, Manchild, how are you a Giants-Mets fan? I thought it was Jets-Mets, Giants-Yankees. All right, I addressed this last week. We'll address it again. I'll keep addressing it.
Yeah.
First of all, the answer to that, Phil, is it's hereditary, basically. All right. It is, again, I grew up in New York City. I grew up in Queens. My dad was my entry to sports. He was a big sports fan. And guess who Dad rooted for? Giants. Mets. Okay. Yeah. He was originally, I explained this last week, a Brooklyn Dodgers fan. Okay. And then the Dodgers leave town. And then the Mets become what do you call it?
Expansion
team. Thank you. Yeah. In 1962. And my dad ends up migrating to the Mets. He certainly wasn't going to go over to the Yankees. And he already was a Giants fan. So yes, generally speaking, you're right to think, Phil, that I find that to be most common, that it's Giants, Mets, that it's Jets, Mets, and Giants, Yankees. That tends to be a little bit more the way New York generally skews. All right. I'm talking about in the city.
For whatever reason.
In the 5 boroughs. Yeah. All right. But it's not 100%, and people have their allegiances in different ways. And in my case, it was my dad who, basically led me down that primrose path. So that's why I'm there. And by the way, just because, again, I'm wearing the Giants Mets stuff, I see you noticed that today, Mets hat, Giants shirt. You will also find out about me, Phil, just so you're going to ask this question in the future. Not that I mind questions. I like questions. I like statements. But you will see me wearing all kinds of laundry. You're going to be like, why is he wearing Chargers today? What's he doing, wearing, Steelers
Red Sox
garb today?
Right.
Why is he wearing that Red Sox City Connect? Phil, I offer this again. I am a bit of a sports fashion plate, as they say. And I like colors. I like logos. Sometimes I like players. I'm a big Joe Burrow guy. Wore my Joe Burrow jersey last week. Someone got mad at me because I was also wearing a Bengals hat, and I decided to remove that hat just in respect to that particular fan, but I still remain a Joe Burrow fan. So I like logos. I like colors. I am not just, that's it. You're just going to see me in the blue and white. And that's it. That's the way it goes. This guy, different. Okay. This guy, different. Totally different. All right. I can't get him out of green. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I'm wearing something other than the color green, which is how he, of course, acquired the nickname Boy Green, then I would, but he won't. He can't. So
I was just at the laundry
creature, very different.
Yeah, I was just at the laundromat yesterday, Lerch. Long story short, we don't have to get into this whole side story, but we had to washer dry the house. It no longer works, so I have no other choice. So I have to keep going to the laundromat. But I have to sort of set it up because we do all this work, so I have to time it out. Long story short, I basically didn't go to the laundromat for a month, so I had to make up a month and be there forever. And so I was doing all my laundry, and I saw and I folded at the laundromat, green shirt, and then all of a sudden it just sort of hit me once I would finish folding all the laundry. There was 20 green shirts, all there of all Jets on the table. So that was interesting. So yeah, I am apparently a Jets shirt wearer, and it's all green in my entire fashion lineup. That's it.
I'm asking Alon right now. He's out there to see him. What are his allegiances completely? I know he's Jets.
That's a good point. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Alon. I butchered the word allegiances, so forget about that. I was four-finger typing there. All right. But what are your New York allegiances, Alon? I'm not sure. Alon and I go back a long way, all the way back to my college days. And I know that he is a Jets fan. I think he's a Mets fan, but I could be wrong about that. He might be.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. So let's see if he's out there paying attention and if he answers that question for us. I'm curious. He's another native New Yorker, so I love to ask native New Yorkers. You might find out, Phil, that native New Yorkers are a bit scattered a bit, but I do agree with you. Most fall into that realm. All right. So you're excited about NFL season. So the stomach is churning and bubbling and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
All right. I know you enter every season thinking Jets are going to the Super Bowl. So maybe I ought to just stay away from the Jets and even asking you that. Let's talk about who else you see out there in the world of the NFL this year having very, very strong, successful seasons, Boy Greens. Sans the Jets, okay? Sure. Who else out there is going to go out and have themselves a season team-wise?
Right. So who is going to be competing for second place in the National Football League? Because obviously the Jets are winning the Super Bowl.
Third, fourth.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'm glad we're able to bring that up. Well, a couple of things. Obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles are insane. They just blew the Kansas City Chiefs out. They've been to the Super Bowl 3 times in 8 years. Like, they have been absolutely killing it. They won in 2017. They just won this year, and then they lost to the Chiefs a couple years ago in that fun back and forth Super Bowl. So the Eagles are going to continue to be around.
You say Eagles, good to go.
Eagles, good to go.
Probably winning the NFC East, probably winning the East completely.
Could very well. They could very well.
Don't believe the Lions could break through the ceiling there, huh?
Well, they lost Aaron Glenn, so obviously their defense is the same.
They lost their offensive coordinator too, by the way.
They did, and they lost Tanner Engstrand as well. He went to the Jets, so obviously.
But they're going to get back maybe the most important thing, which is the defensive end, who's maybe their best defensive player.
Sure, of course, yeah. The NFC North is tough, though. You have the Bears, who acquired that coach we were just talking about, and Ben Johnson. How does that change everything with Caleb Williams? So there's the Bears angle. The Vikings are a mystery. They won 14 games last year, but now they have J.J. McCarthy. What's J.J. going to be? I don't know. Could they be great? Could they be bad? It's sort of indifferent. Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, that was a really talented team. So you have them, and then the Lions. So the NFC North is arguably the best division of football, or at worst two. So that one is pretty compelling. If the Lions are going to work their way into that mix, that's another team that's up there. And how do the Chiefs respond? The Chiefs, while their record was whatever the record was, a lot of people thought they had a 4-leaf clover shoved up a certain orifice last year with some of the weird ways they were winning games. And people said it's either the team is destiny and that's just going to be their season, and we're going to go, wow, the oblong shaped football bounced in every right way for the Chiefs all year. Obviously that did not happen, or that, eventually it was going to catch up to them. And it seems like that did. But they got Patrick Mahomes. The last time I checked, that guy was pretty good. We've seen him flop in the Super Bowl before, and then they bounced back. Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers unleashed the pass rush during that COVID Super Bowl, and Mahomes looked human. And then they won several Super Bowls. So there can be a little bit of a back and forth. So seeing how the Chiefs bounce back, obviously, and the training camp we're going to be going to, Lerch, we're going to be doing a live training camp to on Wednesday. I'm going to be going undercover as a Jets guy to Buffalo Bills training camp to try to get the juice. And we're going to be at Bills training camp. Are the Bills going to be something of note? That, to me, is a curious thing, because they've been on the edge for a while. Is their window closed? Does the window remain as open as ever, as long as Josh Allen, the reigning MVP, is there? We're going to see. So I think the Bills are obviously going to be really good too. And then one other team I just want to highlight is the Cincinnati Bengals. The offense was historic. We talked about this, but season 2 of the quarterback series on Netflix, compelling stuff. The Bengals offense was insane, but their defense has an issue with Trey Hendrickson, which we're going to get to. And it's the same thing going to happen. The offense is awesome. Defense is terrible. They switched out coordinators. Is that going to make the difference? I don't know. But obviously, the Bengals are always a scary team with Joe Burrow on the other side.
Yeah, no question. I think for fantasy football lovers out there, a lot of times when you're looking for players, particularly offensive players, which is what fantasy is mostly built around, obviously, you love to find those teams that you believe are going to be good teams, that have a good quarterback, that you think are going to have to score. And it feels like the Bengals are one of those teams, which is probably why in a lot of cases, Jamar Chase is going as the number one, if not, number one and number 2 pick in most fantasy drafts. Because the thought is the Bengals are going to be outscore their opponent most of the year, right. Even if they bring Hendrickson back into the fold, I still think that's probably the case. One guy on that somewhat porous defense,
he was on there last year, and that's what he did. He led the league in sacks, so they were terrible.
It's not going to change drastically. So the fact of the matter is they're going to likely have to win in shootouts, and that's the kind of, guys and the kind of team you want to have, right? You want guys off a team like that, rather than have it off a team that predicates itself on the run game, like say a Chargers team. Jim Harbaugh just loves to run the ball and grind a team, and then play solid defense and slow everything down. And so you don't get as many touchdowns and as many scoring opportunities when you have guys on a team like that versus having guys on a team like the Bengals. So, yeah, the Bengals are. And I also just finished quarterback as well, season 2.
Great show.
Hey, by the way, is it worth it to go back and watch the receiver series? I saw that sitting there. I know that came out over a year ago, I think, or somewhere in that realm.
Right.
Did you watch that, and is it worth watching?
It is compelling.
Watching?
Quarterbacks.
Quarterback or not?
Quarterbacks is so inherently interesting just because of everything that goes into it. But no, to be honest, I really enjoyed the wide receiver series too. It's just,
You did. Okay.
Amon-Ra was on there, Justin Jefferson. I'm trying to remember all the receivers that were in there.
Did
But
you walk away with a different feeling about any of those receivers? I think Devontae was on it.
Oh yes, oh god.
Oh, yeah. So did you walk away with a different feeling about any of those receivers coming out of it, like so many of us did with Kirk Cousins coming out of not only season 1 but now 2 seasons? I mean, they had to bring Cousins back for season 2 because he was so good in season 1.
Yeah, right. And like Joe Burrow was fascinating to me at being a pianist, self-taught, and like, wow, there's a lot of fascinating stuff. So for sure, again, understanding like receivers are interesting creatures. Like these,
yes, they are.
These
we call
players,
them divas for a reason.
Right, exactly. That's exactly it. So seeing the behind the scenes of diva-ish, like what goes into like what goes into their mindset, what drives them. Are these are they really these just selfish players who just want touchdowns and don't give a flying hoot about anybody else, and like jewelry and all this stuff? And there is a little bit of that with Justin Jefferson and all his, they go into all kinds of different avenues, right? It's not just a football, it's who they are as people and some of their interests,
right,
and stuff like that. So yeah, I would definitely say you learn. I don't think there's anyone, and unless I'm forgetting someone, there's no Kirk Cousins. I have a particular take. I watch a series, I go, wow, look at this guy. And all of a sudden I become rooting for him. And there's that sort of thing. I don't know if there's a receiver that maybe just flipped the narrative that dramatically. Maybe that's hard to do, so that can't happen on a season-to-season basis. But I definitely think it's worth it. Like some of the stuff that I guess will bore you is like the results, right? Like, now that we're a year plus removed, that would have been from maybe the 2023 season, I would imagine. I'd have to think how the recording schedule works. So some of the games and situations where they're in the middle of it, maybe that won't entertain you because you're like, we're 2 or 3 seasons removed now. So you get sort of lost in that sauce.
You don't remember all that. Right.
But there's a lot of really cool, compelling stuff about the player. So yeah, I'd highly recommend it. A great show.
All right, I'm gonna carve out some time for that.
We'll see. There you go. In between everything else,
only 5 weeks away.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you fit it all in? I want to bounce around a little bit to NFL camps, and then I'd love to do a way too early predictions thing.
Okay.
For the Jets, Giants, and Bills, we'll take a look at each schedule and just making a game by game. All right, what do you end up with? Kind of record for each of the 3 teams. We won't do a ton of analysis on that today,
right?
Because we don't have that much time. But I'd love to just go win, loss,
rapid fire.
Okay,
yeah, okay.
What do you got? All right, I got 8-7. Like you got 10-3. All right,
sure,
whatever it is.
There you go. Yeah.
10-5. All right. So, all right. Anyway, so we'll get to that. But quickly on NFL camps.
Oh yeah.
Let's start with this thing. All right.
Boy.
So yeah, Micah Parsons, Jerry Jones is just no rest for the weary. I hate that we keep giving the Cowboys attention, but here we are giving them more attention again. But it's unavoidable. I mean, this is getting fiery. This is getting dangerous in terms of his future, I think, with the Cowboys. I still think at this point he stays. But if you really go back and you look at it, a lot of people are saying, this is just like CeeDee Lamb all over again. This is just like Dak Prescott all over again. This Jerry took his time before he finally got those guys signed. Here's where this parts. This is where we part ways here. The road less traveled by. All right. It's never gotten to this point where a player has come out and put this kind of statement out, basically saying, like, I want out of here. This is disingenuous. I'm paraphrasing here in my own.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, you could see the words up here. Read through them, folks, if you want to read through it. I mean, Boy Green, what do you make of this? Micah Parsons just putting out a long statement on social, just basically asking out of Dallas now. Trade me now.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought up the previous situations, obviously with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. They never reach this level. This is Micah's only play to me, if he really wants to create some noise, was to go nuclear. And that's what he did. On your screen, you can see there's 30 million impressions of this on Twitter for a caption of "Thank you, Dallas." Yeah. And in a very long, obviously, with multiple notepad screenshots here from Micah Parsons, that he says he does not want to be a Dallas Cowboy anymore. He feels like he was cornered into a room when he was supposed to be meeting with Jerry Jones, talking about leadership. Jerry just started getting into negotiating mode and thought that their conversation one-on-one was the negotiation of getting the deal done, and it was over. And Micah felt like that was ingenuine, and now they won't talk to his agent. Not that they talked to his agent much before that anyway, which caused a lot of issues. And the other nuclear part is that he gave all these details of saying how selfless he was. He said, I didn't want to be the highest paid pass rusher. I wanted to sign this 2 years ago. They did not. I wanted to sign this offseason. My agent said, hey, you should probably wait for other pass rush sign. He says, no, I'm good. I just want to be a Dallas Cowboy. So now Mike is painting the Cowboys to be the idiots that we thought they were in the beginning of this process. Now we're getting the other side of the story here. So Micah clearly wants to be traded. He wants to be moved. He feels disrespected. That's why I think this goes to another level, that he feels like he's been insulted, which Jerry Jones has taken multiple shots at him during press conferences for seemingly no reason, which makes no sense. So I think he's been personally disrespected by this. He no longer wants to be a part of the organization. Jerry has not taken any of that seriously. He said, I don't take this for anything. It's just
Dallas
part of
fans, don't worry. Yeah. Don't worry. Everything's fine.
Said,
it's just negotiation.
That's what he said. Ugh. And boy, I don't think so. This feels very serious. And so, yeah, I think you say Micah's going to be, you think it gets figured out. I don't think so. I think he gets traded for a massive package, and which is silly because, like, Micah Parsons, one of the best players in the league. So to trade him, no matter what you get, you're going to get worse. Even if you get players back. 2 firsts and players wherever he's going to go is probably the package you're going to get. But there's no way that you're going to get proper value back for Micah Parsons, especially in the month of August before the season. So this is a disaster, and the Cowboys have no one to blame but themselves. Their dragging of their own feet is something that caused all this.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot of teams out there that would be takers, for sure. And I think there'd be teams. I mean, would you give up 2 firsts for him? I would.
Unquestioned. I'd give up 2 firsts and say, hey, what else do you want? That's what I would do immediately for Micah Parsons. He's young. He's at a premium position. He has a floor and a ceiling. Every year of his career, he's had at least 12 sacks. Think about that. 4 years in the league, at least 12 sacks in every season, if not more. The pass rush rate is up. The pressure rate is up. All the numbers and analytics are crazy up on Micah Parsons. And he seems like a stand-up act off the field from everything that we understand. So when you look at all the pieces, I would easily give up 2 1s and not even think twice about it. Because what are they? Lottery tickets that you hope are like a quarter that are like, I say half as good, but not even half as good as Micah Parsons is, you hope, in an alternate universe. You know what Micah Parsons is. He's fantastic. I would immediately give up 2 number ones, a couple of players, and then make him the highest paid non-quarterback in history. He's just that good.
Now, let me ask you this. I caught this, actually, I'll give credit where credit's due, on Get Up this morning and I think it was Ryan Clark that said it. So just to give credit to the person that I believe said it. He said something interesting. He said, again, comparing the Dak, CD, and now Micah.
Sure. Yeah.
And basically what he said was, it was very clear that Jerry Jones likes Dak Prescott, off the field relationship. It always seems to be a very nice, warm and fuzzy, as we saw in the Dallas Cowboys Hard Knocks a couple of years ago. Even Manchild, who hates the Cowboys. I mean, I hate the Cowboys. I'm a Giants fan. Came out of that going, that guy's, he's a pretty good dude. I kind of came out of that Hard Knock saying, I kind of like this guy. Why should I root vehemently against him personally? The team I can root against, but I kind of like this guy. And CD he's a kind of a quiet guy. He doesn't talk to the media much at all. He's kind of I do my business kind of guy. And also all reports are that Jerry Jones and CD get along very well, that there's a warm fuzzy there. And then the question is, well, what is Micah's relationship with Jerry? I mean, Jerry keeps saying, I love Micah. I love him. He's a great guy, Micah. Micah's great. It's like, yeah, but what is their relationship really like? Because I'm not sure that it feels the same as either one of the other two. It's also fascinating, too, just to add another layer onto this onion that has so many layers right now, is Jerry Jones also in his comments attacked Jay-Z's company, Rock Nation.
Oh, my God.
And went all the way back to the Dez Bryant negotiations of years ago. And then Jay-Z and his people responded very quickly to Jerry Jones, just calling him, a lunatic or something along those lines. He's just crazy, crazy old man kind of thing. So, but my question is, does Micah, you got the comments right here. Thank you.
I believe so, of what you're talking about. I'm not sure. But
does Micah essentially have the same relationship that does Jerry have the same relationship with Micah that he did with the other 2 guys? Or is that another differentiator here between these 3 guys who we want to compare, because it feels like the other 2 were down the same road and then got their deal? Jerry's talking like he's going to get his deal. Just, wait it out here. It's just negotiations, but it's getting ugly.
Yeah. I just, again, maybe Jerry, and not maybe, I think we could say this in the same breath. I said this on another show, that Jerry Jones is a Hall of Famer. He's integral to where the National Football League is today. The sponsorship deals that the Dallas Cowboys brought in, which set up the sponsorships for all these other teams in the National Football League, and obviously the money coming in that exploded everything. Jerry Jones had his fingerprints are all over the NFL, and the NFL story cannot be spoken without mentioning Jerry Jones. So I want to say all that in the same breath. But putting that aside, Jerry Jones's old negotiating tactics with players used to work back in 1997. But I don't think that you need to evolve the technique and involve the person, and it doesn't sound like it has. You can't just bang out a contract with Micah Parsons in a back room over a beer, and here it is, it's over. There are rules in the NFLPA rulebook. If a player has an agent, Micah Parsons does, it's David Mulgeta. If you have a certified NFL agent, no contract can be signed until his representative also signs a contract and agrees to the deal. Like, again, it works differently. Lamar Jackson, when he came out of the draft, he had his mom as his representative. So that's not a certified agent. So there are other loopholes that could be done with a contract like that. That is not the case here. So I just feel like the problem with Jerry is he's not adapting. He's using old techniques that are no longer working. He's using these interesting pot shots during press conferences where he said, hey, man, why do I have to pay a guy if he might not be healthy? Well, Jerry, it's football, and that happens all the time. And you're also taking a shot at a guy who's putting his body and everything on the line for your organization and everything to win, and he didn't get injured on purpose, so that affects people personally. So I think some of these shots are just cutting deep. It's getting to a personal level. And, yeah, obviously that relationship that you just mentioned between Micah and Jerry can't possibly what it is with some of those other players. It's getting to a personal level. Maybe it can be fixed. There's been other situations in the past, Lerch. Myles Garrett, he trumpeted at the Super Bowl, I'm out. It's not about money. Screw the Browns. And then, just kidding, $40 million? Okay, I'm all in. So money can solve a lot of wounds. Jonathan Taylor, a couple years ago with the Colts, it looked like that relationship was destroyed. That came back. So money can solve all things. We will see if it does, but it seems like it's going to a different level here, Lerch.
Yeah. Is Jerry also kind of, dare I say, gilding the lily here a little bit about Micah and his injuries and his not being there all the time? I mean,
he definitely
football is a game of injuries. I mean, so address that for a second.
Yeah, he over-exaggerated. Jerry was at his press conference, and he said, oh, boy, Micah, he missed 6 games last year, my investment, my money going to injured guys. He only missed 4 games. He did not miss 6.
Okay.
So over-exaggerating there. And just in general, the fact of the matter is any player you pay can get injured. I'm sure owners don't like their money going to people that are injured, but that's part of the, that's part of the opportunity cost here is that coming in that it's a very violent game and any of these players could be injured at any point. That's also why they're putting their bodies on the line and working hard at the negotiating table to make sure they get their guarantees in. So yes, Jerry, of course, overblew something that did not exist there.
Jerry
with
exaggerated?
Micah.
You saying he exaggerated?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? And to be honest, to me, it's even more impressive because I mentioned that Micah Parsons had at least 12 sacks every year of his career. So he missed 4 games last year and still got 12 sacks. So how much more could he have gotten if he wasn't hurt? I don't know. He's been healthy enough to put up that kind of production over 4 years. I don't think that's one of the things to complain about.
It's funny. You do have to change with the times. There's no question about it. I mean, I don't even need to go any further than our show. I was on the radio for 23 years. And it was AM radio of all places. And you will find, I think I said this in our first show or our second show when we started doing this digital format, you'll find no greater supporter of radio than me. I love the medium. I love how radio keeps people company in their cars. We've done it for years and years, especially if you have those local hosts that you love and those people that you follow that talk about all the things that you care about here in Central New York. Obviously, a lot of people care about Syracuse basketball, Syracuse football. And we were there every single day for those people talking about those topics. And that was a great thing. But let's face it, the audience in AM radio isn't growing. As a matter of fact, it's dying is what's happening. It's dying off because all those that know it actually exists literally are dying. And you and I, how many deaths did we report over? Not only even deaths of celebrities. We had deaths, real deaths, folks, of people who were our longtime listeners who were dying. And I was like, boy, head scratch here for a minute. And I said to Boy Green, we finally made the decision. Okay, we're gonna, finally, amicably walk away from radio. It's been a wonderful ride. Let's retire from that realm and let's bring our show over here where we can grow our audience, where younger people could come in and listen to us, as well as those that are older, that you can listen to it and watch it whenever you want. Okay, you don't have to be there. We were on from 10 in the morning until noon every day during the later years of our show. You don't have to be there at 10 o'clock. You can pick up our show later today, as I was mentioning earlier. I mean, we have a bunch of people who are live with us right now. God bless you for all being here, being part of this and interacting with us live. There's a cool thing about that. But those on the radio side, they really couldn't get us later. I mean, yes, we put out snippets of the show and podcasts and things to give them pieces of it, but to get the show in its entirety, you couldn't do that. There was no mechanism to do that. In this world, everything's on demand. Hey, I was away the whole week on vacation. Hey, I can catch up with the fellas. You could find out what they were talking about. You can go back and listen to the parts that you want to listen to. You also have the ability to say, hey, I'm not a big SU football fan. I'm not going to listen to that interview on the football guy, but boy, I'm a big Survivor guy. I want to hear what David Wright has to say. That's the beauty of this medium. And it's all about changing with the times. And I agree. I mean, I think there's kind of an old man on the porch nature now to Jerry Jones, where he's so set in his ways. He's the head cheese. He's the boss. Nobody's going to tell him how to do it, including even his own son. Right. And the fact of the matter is he's negotiating using old school tools when the world has modernized. The world has gone digital, pal, and you're still living in AM radio. I mean, that's the metaphor that I'll use to compare here, because that's the way he's operating. And it's a player's world now. I know the owners are the richest of the rich. They're the ones that ultimately, make the decisions. But when you make decisions that are detrimental to your fan base, you can damage, your fan base. And even more so, you can damage who wants to come play for you. All right. I mean, I guess you'll always have to draft guys, because that's
sure, I guess
how it works.
Right.
But in terms of free agents wanting to come play for you, I mean, you see this all the time in the NBA. I don't want to go play for the Knicks, man. They're mismanaged. They're awful. For how many years that the Knicks couldn't get anybody? Because
long time.
Everybody hates Dolan, James Dolan.
Yeah.
Who I describe as, if not the worst owner in the sports, in the top 3 worst owners in sports. I know there's some other bad ones out there. The guy who owns the A's right now, not too good.
God, yeah.
There are some bad ones out there. But James Dolan. But what Dolan has done in recent years, even though he still owns the team, and still it seems every once in a while wants to get his darn hands on it, has basically stopped putting his hands all over it and let Leon Rose and his people run it. And it's been run well. And now players want to come play for the Knicks, and there's a changing of the guard. So Jerry's creating a culture right now, because the old man on the porch ideals that is saying, I don't want to play for that team. I don't want to play for those guys. That's just, that guy he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand me. He doesn't understand the modern day player. He doesn't understand this is a players' league now. It's not an owners' league anymore. It's a players' league. That's just the way that sports has gone. You can't put the cork back in the bottle. Maybe, bell bottoms are going to come back in sports, and the owners are going to have control again. The GMs are going to be the most powerful people. But right now, the most powerful people in sports are the players themselves. And it's not going backwards, in my opinion, anytime soon.
I don't think so. And by the way, we have a comment in here from Ephraim. He says, if Micah Parsons does get traded, where is he most likely to land? Ephraim, thanks for the question here on YouTube, the Manchild Boy Green YouTube. By the way, if you guys are watching the video live or after the fact, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe here on YouTube. We're streaming live on the Manchild Boy Green digital YouTube page and my Boy Green YouTube page. This is our live show. We do them several times a week. I would say, first off, I think the entire NFC. So here, let's just say this from the beginning. Micah Parsons, who are the teams who are going to be interested in Micah Parsons? 31 teams. Probably. Every team that's not named the Dallas Cowboys are all going to be interested, of course. And when you have that much interest, you could be picky. The entire NFC is eliminated. Put them out. I'm going to the AFC.
Likely the AFC. Yeah.
So a team that jumps out to mind is someone we're visiting on Wednesday. And I know the Jet fans answer not going to like this answer. It's the Buffalo Bills. They believe they're on the cusp. And if they could make a move that would push them over the top, they'd be willing to do it. It'd be attractive from Dallas' standpoint because they're in the AFC. They're on the entire opposite side. We're not going to be haunted by Micah Parsons unless we see him in the Super Bowl or once every 4 years when our divisions line up, which, by the way, this is one of them. So we do have a Cowboys-Bills game coming up this season. The Bills make a lot of sense to me. So the teams I'm thinking about are like contenders that are on the edge that literally need one more piece to sort of push them over the top. So Buffalo would be high on that list. Cincinnati would be if they actually pay people, but they don't. So they're eliminated from the list. So
can I just jump in for a second and ask you?
Go ahead.
Would you care, Boy Green? Because I think I would. Would you care if you were, again, from Dallas's perspective, who you're trading with? I agree with you. There's no, you don't do what the Giants did with Saquon and let that guy go sign for the Eagles, not to see him in your division and see him twice a year. So Dallas is smart enough that if they were to make a decision to move Micah, that I agree with you. I think they'd most likely move him somewhere in the AFC. All right. So if that indeed is the case, and that eliminates half the league, I still want to partner up with the team. If part of my trade is I want 2 number ones, which I got to think this should be what Dallas should be thinking, plus whatever else. Okay. But 2 number ones, a piece of that. All right. If I want 2 number ones, I'd like to get 2 number ones from someone that I think is going to be in the top 10, not Buffalo, who's on the cusp of winning a championship and is going to be picking like 30th, 31st, 32nd, maybe even. You know what I mean? Like, that's not as valuable a first round pick as if I've got the Carolina Panthers pick. Give me that pick. I'll take their pick. That's going to be in the top 10. So what is your thought about that in terms of how choosy Jerry and Dallas might inevitably get if they were to move Micah Parsons?
It's a very fair point, Lerch, and I'm glad that you brought it up. I say that 31 teams should be interested in Micah Parsons because he's just that good. But would Carolina Panthers, we'll use that example. They're in the NFC, but use them as an example. In their stage of development, no one thinks they're a Super Bowl contender. Hell, no one thinks they're an NFC South contender. That would be a surprise if they end up winning their division. Would they be willing to give up 2 number ones? If they would, sure. If you're Dallas, all of a sudden you got to start thinking about that. That's what you should do. It's not about putting Micah in the best position to go win a Super Bowl. You don't care about that. You want to put yourself in the best position to reap immediate assets about it and putting it together. If I'm the Cowboys, it's minimum 2 number ones before I even pick up the phone. And once we're on the phone, okay, now what else? I'm going to want players because, again, we have reached August, Lerch. The only way there's no way that you're going to get better by letting Micah Parsons go, regardless of the players you get back, realistically. But 2 number ones for the future, and then players that can help you right now. What do the Cowboys need? Do they need a running back? They would need a new pass rusher, even though their edge group is pretty deep. They would need that. So that's part of the other things that would come with it. And then you see it here from Ephraim again. I was about to say, being Buffalo always picks late. It may cost them more players than picks. I think, there would probably be more players involved than picks. Picks, again, I'd probably say 2 number ones, and then the players, James Cook. Those are issues we'll get into in a little bit. Perhaps that's a player that could be involved. I saw other Buffalo Bills analysts throwing out A.J. Epinesa, who's another pass rusher who could be included. So the Bills could sort of
Does Jerry want to take on another player that's in a contract dispute right now?
That probably not, to be honest with you. So that would be a piece of the puzzle. But no, I think it's going to take a blockbuster package of picks and players. And what you need, Lerch, is those crappy teams being willing to get into the octagon to trade. If they are, that's an easy choice. If they're not, then the Cowboys say, do we just hold on to Micah? We've got him for this year. We have 2 franchise tags. We're just going to hold him hostage. And eventually he's going to show up and we're going to outlast a player. We're worth $10 billion. This guy wants to eventually play. He's going to have to play for us. They could play hardball. Jerry seems like the hardball type that's not going to bend the knee. So that is a path they could choose. Or you just pick the least evil. Okay, you know what? We could clean our hands, ship him off to Buffalo, get a Herschel Walker trade, package that set up the Cowboys for 3 championships in the 90s. Maybe they could try to flip Micah for the same thing.
Yeah. Do you, and also just another thought from Jerry's perspective in this battle of egos, if it gets to this point where they feel like they have to move him. A lot of times if you are, as Jerry is, maybe the biggest ego in the room, feels that way to me. Not that Micah doesn't have a big ego too, but Jerry seems to have the biggest ego in the room.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because it seems to most of us that it's obvious that this guy should get paid based on what he's
obviously.
I mean, he's a producer of defensive skills
at a great position.
He's a top 5 easily defensive player. You could make an argument that he's, could be the best defensive player in football. He's up there. He's up there. He's in the top 5. Okay,
unquestionably.
So, does Jerry essentially say, all right, we'll trade him, but guess what? I'm shipping him off to Siberia. He's not getting some warm, cushy job. He's not getting on some championship caliber team where even in the AFC, I got to watch him hoist a Lombardi a year or 2 from now. That's not happening. I'll ship him off to, the NFL's version of the Sacramento Kings. I'll ship them
Yeah.
off to, just think of, there are teams in the NFL,
Sure.
Siberia. I hate to say it, but there are some
Where
teams
careers go to die. I'm picking up
where
what you're putting
careers go
down.
to die. Like I'll ship him off to a place where his career is going to go to die rather than ship him off to a place where, go ahead, get your money, let him pay you to play for a team that never competes, that's never going to win a championship, that's never going to get close. All right. I'll ship you off to Siberia. I'm not sending you to posh Miami.
Well, well, if we're being honest, if he was going to send someone to Siberia, where you can't win a championship, wouldn't he just stay in Dallas? They haven't been to a championship game since 1996. I mean,
he might already be in Siberia. Your point is already in Siberia. You're just shipping him off to another Siberia, is what you're saying.
But no, I hear what you're saying. I wouldn't. Yes. To be honest, there you go, Cowboys fans. I knew you'd enjoy that one in the chat. I would say I wouldn't put that past Jerry. That would totally be in Jerry's mindset. He seems
petty.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the best way to put it.
I think if it goes wrong for him, I think he would get petty. I really do.
For sure.
If Micah just says, I don't care. I'm not playing for you. Find me. I'm not playing for you. Trade me or I won't be playing.
Well, because think about part of the negotiation is this, Lerch, and he said it and other players have said it, that part of it is he goes in the room and says, okay, so Micah wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback ever. Okay. It's like, hey, man, I could pay you that, or I could pay you this, which is less. And guess what? You have the star on the side of your helmet, endorsement deals, sponsorships. And then he points to Troy Aikman, Daryl Moosh Johnston. Yeah. Oh, he's a broadcaster. Look at Tony Romo. Look what he is. Look at all these. Do you want to know? Would you be doing that in Siberia? Oh, you wouldn't? Oh, you'd be doing it because you're a Dallas Cowboy? That's part of the sales pitch. That's part of the, circus of what they sell. And by the way, good circus. It works. Obviously, look at those examples he's able to point to. But that's part of it as well. So 100% I can understand the petty on the other side. We're like, oh, you don't want to be a part of this? Then be a part of this. Jacksonville or whatever it is.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. I'm Micah Parsons out, as they say.
Aren't we all?
As I'm sure the world is, or Jerry Jones'd out, really is probably the better way to say it.
Yeah.
But regardless, this story continues. And as long as it continues, we'll continue to cover it and give you the latest and the greatest. Maybe there'll be some other bombshell. Is Jerry going to go to Twitter now and go nuts? Who knows?
Oh, boy.
I don't even know. Does he even have a Twitter account?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
All right. I want to do this thing where we go through the 3 New York teams and do our way too early predictions. Doesn't mean these are locked in stone, but these are our way too early predictions based on what we've been hearing so far out of camp. Okay. What we're thinking at this point, our eternal optimism. I'm sure your Jets number is going to be a little higher than those with the logical thought we might have. I'm sure my Giants number could be a little higher than logical thought might allow. Although I do tend to think I'm a little bit more even-keeled than Boy Green is when it comes to our home teams. And we'll do the Buffalo Bills as well. So which one you want to do first, Boy Green? Jets, Giants, or Bills? We're going to go game by game, pick win or lose, and then come up with an overall record for each team.
Well, until this is called the Boy Green Show with Manchild Digital, you're the boss, buddy. You tell me.
All right, let's start with the New York Football Giants. Let's go there.
Okay, here we go. So here it is on your screen, everybody. This is the full New York Giants. Oh, my God. This is incredibly brutal as we're going through this. So for the Giants schedule, it goes as follows. It goes from left to right, but it goes north, south first. So week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way down, and then it starts back up on the second column there. So, all right, Lerch.
Blue are the home games, just so you know, Boy Green.
Yes.
Red are the road games. All right. Will you tally it while we go?
Yes, I'm going to tally it behind the scenes here.
All right, you tally it behind the scenes. How many wins, losses? So put wins, losses for you, wins, losses for me, and here we go. All right, week 1, the Giants on the road against the Washington Commanders. Boy Green, without much discussion, I think the Commanders will come into the season ready to go. I think the Giants are still adapting, but I'm going to give this game to the Commanders. Commanders win at home. Giants start the season 0-1.
Yes, I am with you there. Sorry, Lerch. I think that is an L for the Giants.
All right, week 2 at the Cowboys in week 2. I say it's time to get the monkey off the back. Give me a W against Jerry and the Cowboys. Micah might not even be playing. I'm loving it. Give me the Giants over the Cowboys in week 2 in Big D. 1-1 for the Manchild.
In Dallas. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go that I think the Cowboys won like 19 in a row against the Giants. It's been pretty brutal. Yeah, that's gonna be an 0-2 start, Lerch.
Okay, 0-2 start. Now we come home for the Kansas City Chiefs. Come into MetLife, and it's a Sunday night football game on top of it all. Oh, mama. I guess I'm going to take the Chiefs to beat the Giants, even though it's the Giants' home opener. Giants start the season 1-2. Boy Green.
Yeah, that's going to be another L. The Chiefs, good Lord. This is not looking good. All right, we're at an 0-3 start on my side, yeah.
Chargers, week 4 at home. I say the Giants bounce back. I know the Chargers are a tough team. Jim Harbaugh is going to try and run that thing down the Giants' throat, but I think the Giants are going to get one here at home. Maybe a good game for Russell Wilson here early in the season. Tight one, but the Giants beat the Chargers. We're 2-2 after 4, Boy Green.
That's another L for the G-Man. We're at 0-4 here, and I'm trying to squint ahead on the schedule to see where these.
You better squint yourself a win against the Saints on the road, because I'm giving the Giants the win there. The Saints are a bad football team this year. Giants have to get this one. 3-2 for the Manchild. Boy Green, is it 0-5?
Well, look at this, Lerch. You're above 500. That's a good place to be. Hey, every blind squirrel finds out. Let's throw a win for the Giant fans in the audience. There you go. 1-4, baby.
Okay. Bravo. Eagles in Philadelphia, week 6. Thursday night football, too. You got the early week, everything going against it. I'll take the Eagles to beat the Giants. We're now even at 3-3.
Lerch, that's a quick another L there. 1-5 for the New York Giants. Oh, boy.
We're headed for the top of the draft, according to you.
Hey, good for you. Arch Manning.
Week 7 on the road against the Broncos. 4:00 game out there in Denver, high altitude. Ooh, Boy Green, I'm on the fence on this one. I say Russell Wilson gets revenge on the Broncos. Oh, wow. Give me a win in Denver in week 7. We're back over 500 and 4-3.
Yeah, or 4-4, right?
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're correct. After the loss to the Eagles, right? We're back even at 4-4. No, 4-3. That's week 7.
Okay.
Yep.
4-3. Okay. 4-3. Okay, good. No, yeah, this is going to be another L, Lerch. The Broncos are awesome, and you guys not so much. So, yep, that's 1-6.
1-6. All right, up next, Eagles back.
Let me put that one down. Okay, that's another L. Okay.
Oh, that early Eagles game, I had that wrong. Early Eagles game was at MetLife, so now they're in Philadelphia. I thought that one was in Philadelphia. The red of the road games, I got that mixed up.
Yep.
Oh, boy, we're losing both to the Eagles? I should have.
Oh, for sure. Not even close. Yeah, I didn't even think about that one. Yeah.
No,
that's 1-7, Lerch.
All right, I'll go with you. I'm 4-4 now.
Now we're at
1-7.
Okay.
49ers at MetLife. Give me the Giants there. We're back above 500. 5-4 now through 9 weeks. Boy Green.
That's another L, Lerch. I'm so sorry.
Brock Purdy's going to beat us. Come on.
Well, Brock Purdy just went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Sorry, pal. That's another L. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So I'm at 5-4. You're at 1-8. Boy Green. We're picking number 1 according to you at this point. Now we're on the road for the Bears. I am having a tough time figuring out what the Bears are this year. Why don't you pick this one first? What do you like?
There you go. Let me double your win total on the season. I will take the Giants. The Bears are an enigma. I'm not sure. Caleb Williams apparently has had some horrific practices at camp. They're talented, so they couldn't certainly beat the Giants. But you know what? Like I said, there are things that happen in seasons that we don't expect. So, boom. I'll give you guys a win. Let's increase that record, Lerch, to old 2-8, baby.
All right. I'll take the Giants beating the Bears on the road as well. That gets the Giants to 6-4, a very respectable first 10 weeks for the Manchild on the Giants. We're home for the Packers the following week. I'll take the Packers to beat the Giants there. So that'll get me to 6-5. Boy Green?
Okay. Well, Tommy DeVito, I'm staring at an autographed Tommy DeVito football in front of me. He beat a Packers team on Monday Night Football a couple years ago. I'm not sure if he's going to be the starting quarterback for this game. I'll give you another win. There you go. 3-8, baby.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Week 12, Lions on the road. I will take Detroit.
Yeah. Well, we're both taking Detroit. That's another L. So we're at the old 3-9, Lerch. Not great.
And I'm back at 6-6 now, back to 500.
Yep.
Patriots week 13 on the road. Give me the Giants against the Patriots. Not a believer that the Patriots are going to turn the corner yet this season. So that gets me to 7-6. Boy Green?
Okay, sure. I'll give you a victory against those terrible New England Patriots. Sure. Now you're at 4-9 here.
All right. Commanders back at MetLife for the rematch. All right, Boy Green, I'm ready to split the season series here. Give me the Giants to beat the Commanders in week, 14?
Yeah. That would be including the bye, I guess, which we skipped over. That'd be week 15, it looks like there, Lerch, for the second Commanders game.
Yeah, right. By week 14, right? They play week 15, correct?
Yeah. I'm glad that you're ready to split with the Commanders on the season. I'm not. That's another L, Lerch.
Okay.
That's now we're at 4-10 for your Giants. Not great. There you go.
All right. Vikings at MetLife.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
Boy, I'm on the fence on this one. This is a tough game for me to pick.
All right, I'll give you a win. So I'll jump over. We don't know what this Vikings team's going to be. So you're old.
I'm not sure
5-10.
either with JJ McCarthy down. Win there for me as well. Win there for me as well.
There you go. Wow. Okay.
I think I'm back over 500 now for the Giants.
I believe you're well over. If I have
wins.
This here, it looks like you're.
That's a big spin there. Beat the Commanders, beat the Vikings back-to-back weeks at home.
Yeah,
that'd be big if the Giants could do that. Raiders on the road, week 17. Give me the Giants. Give me the Giants right there.
Okay, there you go.
On the road.
Okay, all right. There you go, Lerch. Yeah, I'll give you an L. Yeah.
All right,
and give me another
L there. And then Cowboys last week of the season. Since I had the Giants beating the Cowboys in Big D in week 2, I'll have the Cowboys avenge it. They'll split the season series with the Cowboys. All right, to be fair there, and a loss for the Giants there. I think I still have them over 500. What do I got?
Yeah, so I have the Giants at 5-12. So that's where I finished up. And if I have this correct here, you have them at 10-7.
Wow. Ooh, that's a little
10-7. Well, Lerch, thank God you say you tend to be more realistic with these.
Might have been too aggressive there.
That's 10-7 versus my 5-12. So we're a little.
Maybe there's a loss either to the Commanders or the Vikings there, week 15 or 16, and that would get me to 9-8.
8,
right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think I'd buy 9 and 8 more than I'd buy 10 and 7. That's too aggressive.
So do you want to strike it from?
I got a little off the rails there. No, we picked it game by game.
Okay,
I ended up 10 and 7.
All right.
It's way too early predictions. It's not actually what we're going to predict.
Oh, I see.
We start
okay.
The
Well,
season,
we actually do them.
This is the way too early predictions.
Okay. Wow. There you go.
And I don't know if you've heard, but Russell Wilson apparently is, in camp. Everybody's in love with him. He's throwing the ball down the field, Boy Green. He's a great leader. The teams gravitate to him. He's way better than anything Daniel Jones has ever been, according to teammates. I don't think that's
quite a high bar to set, but
covering camp. Sure. So, maybe this is all going to be better than has something left in the tank.
Maybe. Well, by the way, everybody, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. I see our numbers are getting higher and higher as we're talking more NFL and going win-loss game here in a rapid-fire, way too early version here on August 4th. So I appreciate it, guys. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe if you're watching on the Manchild Boy Green Digital or my Boy Green YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys. And again, once we reach 300 subscribers, Lerch is giving away an autographed Super Bowl photo of David Tyree, who's a Syracuse product. So shout out to the local people here, Giants fans, and they beat the Patriots. So even the Jet fans of the audience, that's something you can rally toward. So as soon as we reach 300 subscribers, we will give that away. The sooner we get to that, the better. And that is free, 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 baby, is this giveaway that we're doing here. So make sure you guys take full advantage. Did we lose Lerch? Hello? Oh, I think we lost Lerch. All right. We'll try to see if we can fix Lerch here in a second. Okay. Yep, Lerch is having some buffering issues, so apologies, everybody. We'll I'm fine. So Lerch, I am good to go. So we will see if we can fix this here in a second. So apologies, everybody, for the technical difficulties we have going on here on the program. But again, we're live on the Manchild Show at Boy Green Digital YouTube channel. If you guys are having any issues with video or audio, please let me know in the comments section wherever you're watching. If you guys are having any issues on my side, let me know. And we will see here. We'll have Lerch come out and come back in for that perspective. So again, if you guys are experiencing any issues, please let me know in the comment section. If you can't hear our audio or see me visually, please let me know, and we'll try to see if we can fix that if we have any issues for myself. Let me bring him in. I think we got Manchild back. Maybe not. Okay. We'll keep working on that behind the scenes, see if we can fix that, because we will continue to do, hopefully, we'll see here if we do win-loss game coming up here as well. Ephraim, I see, says 8-9 Jets. That's being optimistic. We'll see if we get there for the Jets. Okay, I think we got Lerch back. Lerch? Lerch, can you hear me? Okay, I guess not. Okay, we'll wait to see if we can hear back from Lerch. Worst case, everybody, if we end the show early, we will be having David Wright, our Survivor icon. He'll be joining us in about an hour here on the show. That'll be streaming live on the Boy Green channel and the Manchild Show Boy Green Digital. Lerch, are you back?
I think I'm back. Yeah, wow, that was. I was like, it was like my internet was struck by lightning.
Yeah, because you were frozen on screen, and I thought it was me, and I went, Lerch.
On my end, I was getting winding clocks and no audio, and you were digitizing, man. It was like a super digital experience, man. That was wild. Wow, the benefit of having two hosts, man. You hung in there while I was out.
Yeah, I did. I just started talking about other things. I said, hopefully we get Lerch back. I said, if we don't, we're on in an hour with David Wright, so we'll keep you guys posted. So,
we'll be back. We'll be back. Yeah, sometimes who knows? You just get an internet hit.
Of course.
Some insane traffic in my neighborhood or something. I don't know.
All right. Well, Lerch,
anyway, I'm fine now. Everything's great.
Okay. I was just about to ask, are you good going through the other two quickly?
I think I am. So let's do it. Yeah, we're gonna have to be a little speedy here because this is a way too early prediction. So we're just gonna have to go win-loss.
Up next are the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills. Okay.
I'll be keeping track of it behind the scenes. So,
all right. Let's do like 3 games at a time each.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we can move a little more readily. Okay. So they open with Baltimore, the versus
Sunday Night Football.
So home against Baltimore, on the road against the
Lerch.
You hear me? Oh,
yes, Lerch, I got your back. Are you okay?
I see I went there again for a second.
You did.
All right. I'm going to go loss, win, win to start.
Okay, loss, win, win to start. Okay. Let's go. First 3. Well, yeah, they'll beat Baltimore, lose to the Jets, win Miami. So sure, I'm with you. 2-1.
Okay, 2-1. Okay. New Orleans, New England at home, Atlanta on the road. I will go win, win, win.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. So I am with you. We have the same 5-1 identical start.
Bye week 7, and we've got Carolina on the road, KC at home, Miami on the road. I will go win. That Kansas City thing. Win, loss, win. They sweep the Miami series.
As do I. Win, loss, win. So there you go. I have them at 7-2, as do you. Lerch?
Yep. Okay. I lost you again there for a second. Did you get me?
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Win, loss, win. What did you have there?
Yes. As did I. So we're both 7-2.
Okay. Tampa, Houston, Pittsburgh, home, away. I'm going to go.
I'm going to go win, win, loss. So 2-1.
I'll go win. I'll go win, loss, win.
Okay. We did it differently, but ended up in the same place. I've got them at 9-3, and so do you. So, okay. Let's go next.
Cincy, New England, Cleveland. New England, Cleveland on the road, Cincy at home. I will go loss, win, win.
As will I. I will go loss, win, win, which will take us to 11-4 each.
Philly at home, Jets at home. I will go loss, win.
Yeah, I'll go loss. They're obviously getting swept by the Jets this year, so loss. Okay, all right. So that adds up to 11-6. Nothing wrong with that. So there you go. Very nice.
I have 11-6, or did you have?
You do as well. Yes.
We both have 11-6.
Okay, there you go. Not bad.
Okay, hey, that gets you in the playoffs. It's,
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Probably a division winner. Probably.
Okay, let's go Jets, Lerch.
Jets. All right. Okay. Oh, God. All right.
Remember, try to be as unbiased about this as possible.
Right. So we're going by row. It's top 3 across the green of the home, I'm going to assume, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So home against Pitt, home against Buffalo, Tampa Bay on the road. I'm going to go win, loss. Oh, the Tampa game. Jets good enough at that point to beat Tampa. Win, loss. Sorry.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So Lerch just like sitting on the Jets. Okay. Let's see. 3-0. Okay. 1 win. Okay. Next.
Miami, Dallas, Denver. I will go Miami on the road. I'll go win.
Okay.
I'll do win, loss there.
Okay, nice. Okay, very nice. We're going to be at the Jets Cowboys Week 5 tailgate Sunday, October 5th. So let's try to be realistic about this. And then Week 6, obviously in London, as you can see, that's a win-win-win. Okay, 6-0 start. Okay, beautiful. Okay.
Carolina, Cincinnati, and then the bye. I will go win, loss, and bye.
Okay. So very nice, Lerch. Win, loss, and bye. I will have win, and they win the bye as well. So that is a 8-0
Can't put a win for
start.
the bye week.
Okay, I guess I'll stick with an 8-0 start. Okay, and you have the Jets at 4-4. Okay,
4-4 right now. Okay, I'm not even paying attention to what I have them. I'm just trying to look at each game.
Okay, good.
Cleveland, New England, Baltimore. I'm going to go win, loss.
Okay, win, loss. Okay, so you have them at 6-5 here. Yeah, I'll go win. That's another 3 wins there. So beautiful. Okay, great.
You're beating Baltimore on the road.
100%, Lerch. That's an AFC Championship game preview, probably.
God. Okay. Right. Atlanta, Miami, Jacksonville,
Florida trip.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
First 2 at home. I'll go win, loss, because they beat Miami at home earlier, so I still think they split the season series. So win, loss. I like Jacksonville this year. There's something in the water in Jacksonville. I think they're going to be better than most people think. I'm taking Jacksonville in that game.
There is something in the water in Jacksonville, and that's going to poison them because they're going to lose. That's a win-win-win, Lerch. Just taking over the state of Florida. So that's a couple more wins for the Jets. Okay, I've got them at currently.
I don't know why I do this with you at all. It's completely pointless.
Okay, great. We're
and then
doing
the last
great
3, New Orleans at home, New England on the road, Buffalo on the road. I will go win. I'll give you the sweep over New England. I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't do it, but I'll give you the sweep. That's being very optimistic. This is the way too early predictions.
Sure.
So I'll go win, loss.
Okay. And that means you have the Jets at 9-8.
Ooh, okay. Wow.
Okay.
500. Wow. I should have given them the loss in New England.
Very nice.
Which is what I think is more realistic for them is 8-9. But all right, 9-8. But this is the way too early predictions.
Okay, I'm going to go win, loss. The Jets are resting their starters in Week 18 for the playoffs, so that'll give us a 16-1.
Oh my God! There isn't a team in football this year that's going to go 16-1. And
wait, what?
Jets with a new quarterback and a new head coach going 16-1. Come on, man!
If you see a seashell on the beach and you pick it up and you put it up to your ear, you're going to hear. It's our year, Lerch. It's our year. This is it. This is going to be it for sure.
This is the way he's wired, folks. I can't stop him. I just only can hope to contain him.
Beautiful.
Oh boy. That was a test in
excellent.
Something there.
Great work, Lerch. Okay. I think you went a little light on the Jets, but we can't be perfect.
Can't be perfect. All right. Well, sorry for the internet flubs there. Again, sometimes that's the one thing we can't control in the digital world is whether the digital space, allows us. But I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you folks didn't lose us completely. Again, as Boy Green was saying, some reminders for this week. Number 1, don't forget that David Tyree picture, which is still sitting right there over there on my wall, is going out the door to one of our first 300 subscribers. So we need about 100 more subscribers, and then we'll be at that number. And one of those 300 people is getting that Tyree autograph, the catch framed photo. Beautiful. Is it like an 8x10 or 11?
Yeah, probably
10x12 or something. It's nice. 8x12,
beautiful.
Maybe. Beautiful, nicely framed, matted. I'll give you the frame, the mat, everything from my personal collection. Out the door it goes. A piece of history that used to hang in our radio studio. So we're going to be giving away some other things as we continue to amplify our subscriptions and hope that you pass along the word to your friends and family to, if they like this kind of content, to join on board. So please stay on that and push that out to people. Let people know that subscribing could win you something, which is pretty cool. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It's the great thing. All right. Some great guests this week. Again, Boy Green, we've got David Wright live today at 1:00. We're going to talk all things Survivor with David.
Less than
So
an
that'll be
hour.
a fun, off the beaten trail, not a sports content piece, obviously. But Boy Green and I, for those of you that don't know, are crazy Survivor fans. We've been doing Survivor guests on our show for years and years, going all the way back to the radio days. We're going to continue to do that here on our digital space. So 1 o'clock, and you can interact just like you have right now with us, live with David Wright. Ask him questions about the cast, ask him questions about his experience on Survivor. That's all open and on the table for you when we indeed talk with David at 1 o'clock today. We've got Brunch with Bud Poliquin coming this week. As always, we drop that every Tuesday at 11. You don't want to forget that. Boy Green mentioned it earlier. Me and him are going to be going to Bills camp on Wednesday. So we won't have our typical live show on Wednesday. I'm not sure whether we're just going to drop content or we're going to figure something out. So we'll keep you posted on that once we make a decision what we're going to do. But we're going to probably be out there most of the day. It's the final day of camp at St. John Fisher University, which is only about an hour and 15 minutes from where we are here in central New York, in Rochester, New York. So it's kind of between Syracuse and Buffalo is Rochester. So we're going to go out there. We'll obviously attend all the interviews. We'll see if we can get some one-on-ones. We'll certainly shoot some video of camp. We'll put that all out on our feeds. Probably you'll get the bulk of that Wednesday night into Thursday. So if you're a Bills nut or you want to see and hear what's going on at Bills camp, we'll give you lots of content from Bills camp. And what else we've got? Oh, we're checking in with the Giants this week. Ed Valentine is back. All right. He's been attending all the Giant camp practices. He's there this morning. So we're going to talk with Ed Valentine about what is really going on. Is Russell Wilson really the bomb? All right. Is Abdul Carter the next Lawrence Taylor / Micah Parsons / whatever you want to call him? Another Penn State product. You want to so we've got that coming. We're checking with Matthew Bove, who is a Bills insider. He works in television in the Buffalo market, covers the Bills every day. We're going to check in with him and his personal views on all of Bills camp. So that's coming your way. I think that's
Joe Bartle, fantasy football.
Joe Bartle, of course. We'll do our live Friday again with Joe Bartle. As a matter of fact, this coming Friday, if everything goes according to plan, Boy Green and I will be broadcasting our Joe Bartle live fantasy football segment live from my back
together.
We're going to do it live from the deck, as we're calling it. Okay. We'll have a cooler and some drinks, and we'll do it live from the deck. It's supposed to be a lovely day here in central New York on Friday. So we'll do a live from the deck presentation on Friday with Joe Bartle. And that's always the thing where you want to send us in your questions. You can do that ahead of time. You can do that during our discussion with Joe Bartle, and we'll ask them. You've got draft questions, 2 players. Which one would you pick? Is this guy worth this? What was, where do you rate this guy? Joe works for rotowire.com. Does a tremendous job, super analytical guy, really knows fantasy football. We've had him on our show for many years, and he's part of our Champs League draft, which, by the way, formal announcement now made. I know you sent out text to the league.
We have not said it anywhere, right?
Formally say it now. We have an official venue. We always get a venue because it's a live draft for our Fantasy Champs League, our highest league of our 4 leagues that are associated with the show. And the Champs League live draft will be at Smoky Bones in Clay, New York. On Friday night,
August 29th, I believe.
9th of August. Okay. Season starts that following week. That's the Friday of Labor Day weekend. We will do a live draft, and we're doing it at Smoky Bones, a wonderful barbecue joint. That'll be a lot of fun. I know it's a franchise, so some of you out there, if you're not a Central New Yorker, may have a Smoky Bones in your neck of the woods. This went out by my mom's actually on Long Island.
I didn't know that. Okay.
A few weeks ago, I was like, hey, Smoky Bones every year. Very cool. So very, very good franchise. So we're going to be at the Smoky Bones Clay location for our live fantasy draft. We get the big board. We get the big board and all that jazz at our draft as well. It's always a lot of fun. So that's coming up. So we got a really, really busy month of August. And one more time, we're only 5 weeks, count them, 5 weeks, folks, away from the start of football season. So the countdown is on. We're all jazzed. We're all excited. We're all pumped up as football season gets ready to go. All right, Boy Green, final thoughts, if you have any, as we close this one out here on a Monday.
Yeah, I do. Ephraim asks, Boy Green, are you planning any sabotage at Bill's camp? I'd like to just lean into the microphone and make this abundantly clear. No comment, but yes, absolutely I do. plan on sabotaging a Bills game. So I'll keep you guys posted on whatever that looks like, whether it's Jets-inspired questions I'm sure they're going to really enjoy, or what will it be? We will see, but appreciate that, Ephraim. So, yes, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we will see if I end up making it out to Jets-Giants. That one's still up in the air. We'll see if and when that approval comes through of making sure I could squeeze that into the schedule of all the busy stuff we're doing. So at least we're getting Bills, and I'd love to do Jets or Giants too, so we'll keep you guys posted if that ends up coming to fruition. And I would just say on the live fantasy draft, if you guys have never done it, you should absolutely do it. You get a live draft board. Basically, instead of you guys all having your live computers all across the country, wherever you are, doing it from the computer, it's live. We're in person. That means when Lerch is picking, well, technically, I guess I'm picking number one. So I pick number one. I stand up and say, my team selects this guy. And the crowd, boo, cheers, this, that, surprise. There's just a lot of hoopla that goes involved, food and drink. It's a great time. So we've been doing it for the last 7 or 8 years now. Jamie, the FedEx guy, will let us know. Our historian will comment in at some point and let us know whether that's right or wrong. But it's pretty cool. So I hope you guys get to enjoy it if you do it yourselves. And if you're in the local area, feel free to come. You can watch us do our fantasy draft. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, last year at the fantasy draft, speaking of an incident, dare I say, that happened, or a particular reaction to a pick.
Yes, right.
Brian Drake, one of our insiders, he's another fantasy insider guy. We have a couple of, dare I say, pros in our
some
league.
Ringers.
All right, some ringers, you might say. And Brian, who is a diehard Eagles fan, lives here locally in Central New York, but does national content for some of the online entities. And Brian, it was either the 3rd or the 4th round, I believe, selected just a couple of picks before the Manchild was set to selected Malik Neighbors. Now, we set these very interesting names. We come up with creative names for our fantasy football teams every year. Some people stick with the same name. Others like to morph and change. I think we have more guys in our league these days now that actually morph and change their name
every year. Right.
And since we don't have our players yet, usually you might kind of, theme it around perhaps, your hometown team or maybe a player you like or something. So last year, my team name going into the season, entering the draft, was "Won't You Be My Neighbors?" Right, with a question mark, a little bit of play on Mr. Rogers, and of course on Malik Neighbors, who was a rookie for the Giants last year. Right, kind of a cute name. Yeah. Won't you be my neighbors? And the thought was, of course, I'm a Giants fan.
At some point,
some point, I would likely try to select Malik Neighbors, but Brian Drake, what they say, sniped me a couple of picks before I actually had Neighbors on my board, and
he made eye contact.
He made eye contact, said, "I'm sorry to do this, but I'm going to take." And he took Malik Neighbors and was booed vociferously by those at the draft. God bless those lovely people. Yeah. Right. So anyway, things like that do happen at live drafts. Right. It's a lot of fun when stuff like that happens. And so it was kind of a cool moment. So this year, by the way, team names for myself and Boy Green. I am going with if you know anything about me, I have a rock and roll background. I used to play in bands. From time to time, I'm sure they'll probably come up in some of our discussions. But my favorite song, I believe the greatest song ever written in rock and roll is Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. I believe that's the greatest song ever written, and I will stick to that probably till the day I'm no longer on this planet. And so I was thinking musically this year, what could I come up with? And since Stairway to Heaven is my favorite song of all time, I was like, what could I play off of that somehow? And then I was thinking of prominent players, maybe people that I've had on my roster or somebody that I really like. And I came up with the idea Stairway to Evans. And so that is the name of my team this year, is Stairway to. Now, will I get Mike Evans? I don't know. Will they boo when Drake snipes him again from me?
Inevitably.
Probably. Right. We'll see. I did actually have Mike Evans on my team last year. I traded for him mid-season and he became a member of my team. Of course, we don't have keeper in our league. So we do not. We're just starting from scratch again. So I have no idea whether Mike Evans, who's going for his 8th straight 1,000-yard receiving season after getting his 7th last year. We'll see if he can do that. He'd be the only player in the history of the NFL to have 8 seasons. He currently is the only one to have 7 in a row, right? Or no, 7 since he started or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see how that all plays out. Boy Green, your team name this year. Boy Green always plays off of the Jets.
Well, before I get to mine, Lerch, Mike Evans, 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons. I was going to say the number was higher. So,
thank you. I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
But yes, my team name.
Jerry Rice has also had 11 but he didn't have one in his rookie season.
Correct.
But
Right.
Rice only got to 11. Evans now has 11, and he has all 11, and he's going for 12.
His
so he
only
has
11
the
seasons
record,
he's had.
but could
Correct.
totally break the record
Correct.
and be the
This
only
year.
receiver to have 12,000 yards seasons if he can do it again this year.
Yeah, right.
And Boy Green's team, there it is. Dr. Fields good.
There you go. Have to have it
nice.
Jets inspired every year. So beautiful.
Very nice.
And so that's awesome. I will.
Is there an evolution to that, Boy Green? Is there some? Obviously it's Justin Fields, but how did that come into your mindset? Is there a creative? Was there some kind of dare I say some kind of muse that got
right. Well, obviously, Dr. Fields good, Dr. Feel Good, the song classic rock. So there's a little bit of that play. I'm a classic rock fan for anyone that's out there. So,
the way it just rolled off the tip of the tongue, maybe.
It did, yeah, because that's a Motley Crue song. So Dr. Feel Good, I feel like that would do it. I'm a Motley Crue fan. But no, I try to get every year it's Jets related and whatever it is. So I'm in 8 leagues. It's all the same. I don't come up with different names for different ones. It's all the same. So if it's Dr. Fields good, every league that I'm in is Dr. Fields good. And I try to make it Jets related every year. I try to look at the new players because then new name possibilities exist. So Justin Fields or Mason Taylor or whoever the new player is that wasn't on the roster previously, it gives me new opportunities to sort of mix it up. But sometimes before I was just going through my closet and there's fantasy t-shirts from every year. So whatever. Yeah, I know. It gets emotional talking about this. The Joe Namath one was a team with no Namath. It was Game of Thrones reference Joe Namath. He's obviously not on the team anymore, but that was a cool opportunity to give a tip of the cap for the future, and I love it. And like Badshaw, he's picked Bubba Badshaw on the Jets. Benny and the Jets, Benny. Yeah. So he went Badshaw. I respect that. And also I see Badshaw in here ask, when are we going to do the fantasy draft for the rest of the league? Well, we've done 3 of them, Champs, Chumps, and Triple C. Our last one left is Quad Cities. Who even knows if Manchild will even participate and grovel and lower himself to that level?
I might do it, darn it, but I'm not in the league. I'm not in the league.
Okay, he's not in the league. So it's just, he's
I
just
groveled to go into the Triple C this year. I did not.
That's true.
I did not want to manage a 4-team. I also have some family leagues that I'm in. I mean, it just it gets to be too insane for me where I'm spending all of Sunday setting a lineup, and my wife is like, "Excuse me, but are we having breakfast? Are you setting fantasy leagues?" I'm like, well, a little of both, honey.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
So we
will
do that
the peace here. Very important, as they say. Happy wife, happy life. So
that's what they say.
Yeah.
So Badshaw, there is one left for a Radio Digital League history, and there are 2 Boy Green leagues. That obviously we have 24 crazy Boy Green fans out there in the universe, part of the Boy Green Coffee Club. That's through our Discord, the private app where you guys are all Boy Green Coffee Club members. You guys are all in that league. I will also do reveals for those leagues as well. It was so fun doing it on these. We'll see if Manchild's a part of those. I'm not sure, but we will do those draft order reveals so you guys can know where you're picking a couple weeks out from the draft.
Okay, baby. All right. Is Badshaw in the Quad Cities? Is that why he's asking?
I think he might be in the Quad Cities.
He mentioned last week in one of his comments that he thinks he got in one of the leagues. He thinks it was the Quad Cities.
Yeah, right.
The newest league that we created. The newest.
That's true. So
gonna have to climb his way out of the cellar.
He will. And hey, people have done it before. I don't think anyone's ever done it from Quad Cities because it's so new, but we've had people climb up from the Triple C before and places of that nature. So yes, I do believe so, and I'll confirm that here in just a second. And Badshaw is in the Quad Cities League, so he will find out his draft order here in the near future. We'll try to see if we can do that this week.
Well, without me in there, Badshaw, it should be an easy trip to the top 3. So you should be in good shape.
Yeah, congrats.
No Manchild to compete with. You should be good to go. Getting that top 3, you'll be in the Triple C next year. Then you'll actually start to see my ugly head.
There you go.
Coming your
Appreciate it.
All right, as they say, we got to put a wrap on this lovely puppy.
100%.
We've got David Wright. We'll be back live with David Wright
like 30 minutes.
1 o'clock. Yeah, so I'm going to go get a little snack here, Boy Green.
There we go.
And then we'll be back live for David Wright. We'll do Survivor content. Come with your questions. Come with your thoughts. We'll interact with David live in about a half hour. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in this morning. Again, our broadcast brought to you by our lovely, lovely, lovely friends at Box Drop Mattress and Sofas. Before we go, Boy Green, let me tell people a little bit about our friends at Box Drop.
Considering that we sleep nearly 1/3 of our lives, buying the right mattress is essential. At Box Drop Syracuse Mattress Outlet, you'll get a unique experience. One that saves you 30 to 70% off retail prices on top-of-the-line mattresses, and one that finds the exact mattress for you, both in comfort and in price. At Box Drop, you'll schedule a mattress fitting appointment and get one-on-one service directly with Paul, the owner. No middleman. Family-owned, huge savings, no-pressure sales designed to save you time and money. Dropbox Syracuse Mattress Outlet. Set up your appointment today at boxdropsyracuse.com.
The old studio, and it was decorated so nice, Boy Green.
Good times.
Some of those stickers have migrated to the walls of my room.
I can see that.
My little home studio these days.
A new world.
Okay, but yeah, don't forget. And by the way, Box Drop now doing sofas as well. We're producing a new commercial for them, so we'll show you some of those sofas in the upcoming weeks. Very cool place. We could save 30 to 70% on mattresses, and a really, really nice savings on sofas and sectionals as well. They're really, really specialized. It's by appointment. So you go in and see Paul, the owner. You saw him there in the picture with us. Super nice guy, Paul, and he will save you a ton of money, and you will get yourself a kick butt mattress or a kick butt sofa these days as well. Very, very good stuff from our friends at Box Drop. We're really, really excited to have them as partners. All right. And to all the partners, you see them above me here, all of our wonderful sponsors. Please, if you do live in the central New York area, or can service any of these sponsors remotely, please do so. They're great, great people, have supported our radio show and now our digital product, and we're really, really proud to have them all. All right, Boy Green, I will see you in a little bit for David Wright. For everybody tuning in, thanks so much. We will see you again about 1 o'clock. Peace out.